What game has taken over the trophy hunting community in the month of May? In this video, we'll be looking at the top 50 posts on the r/trophies subreddit from the month of May and figure that out. With that being said, let's hop right into it. Post number 50 here is from second Reddit account 4, and it's a 007 First Light post. This game just came out within the last month, and it's been pretty popular, so I wonder how many of these we're going to be seeing today. He said it's easily his game of the year, and he felt like he was watching a spy thriller the entire time. And if you haven't already, do yourself a favor and play it. Yeah, this is one I was pretty excited for also. It didn't quite make a day one buy for me. I have a lot of other stuff I'm playing right now, including the 1 for 10 difficulty challenge, which I've been doing for all these Reddit recaps so far, and hopefully can wrap up by the next one. But congrats on the plat there, and like I said, we'll have to see how many more of these we see today. Temporary Process here is sharing all the trophies in the Dead Space series. That is pretty impressive there. We always love to see full series getting posted. Some of these games I haven't even heard of. Dead Space Ignition, Dead Space Extraction, and Dead Space, all PS3 games. And he's got the Dead Space Remake, Dead Space 2, Dead Space 2 again, and Dead Space 3. I definitely did not realize there were that many of those games. Thought it was just the OG Dead Space and the remake that came out a couple years ago. It looks like he completed some of these pretty quickly. We got a couple done in 1 day, one done in 9 hours, and then a couple in a few weeks. He says it's such an amazing series that's sadly left to collect dust because of EA. Amazing games, and he loves Dead Space 3, and he will proudly say that. Very cool to see a full series there, Temporary Process. Thank you for sharing. Brando Fandango here, sharing the Mass Effect 3 Platinum. It's his number 44 Platinum. And he says it took him 171 hours. And he finally has the whole trilogy Platinum now, and the series is a 10 out of 10. The Mass Effect games are definitely something I need to get around to. Haven't gotten around to them yet. But with the praise there, I'll have to move them up my list to check out. Dur Sirion here, sharing The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt Platinum. That's a very nice plat right there, one I do have myself. And it's going to be his 75th Platinum. He says he's been meaning to play this game for years and finally got around to it, making it somewhat of a milestone plat at the same time. And it's an absolutely phenomenal game. Yeah, Plat 75 there. I think I got my Witcher 3 Plat around Plat 75 too for a milestone game. Looks like I was close with that. I actually did Witcher 3 for my 90th Platinum. A little bit less of a milestone than 75 there, but yeah, definitely a game worthy of the milestone. And actually, they just announced recently that they're releasing another DLC for this game that's apparently going to be pretty big and fleshed out, just like the other ones, around 25 hours. And that's going to come out next year as kind of a lead-in to The Witcher 4, so I'm pretty hyped for that one. If you haven't played this game, you should definitely get around to it and be ready for that DLC. Seductive Mineral here, posting the Binding of Isaac plat. He said it took him 11 years between the first and last trophy, playing on and off. And he started from a fresh save earlier this year. He wants to play the DLC, but he thinks a hiatus is needed beforehand. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think this is a pretty difficult game here. Yeah, I just double checked, and it looks like it is a 9 out of 10 difficulty, taking around 150 hours. So that's a very impressive plat there, and I completely understand why you might want to take a break before you go for that DLC. Here's our second 007 First Light plat from So Says Jay. I think we've seen him a couple other times in these recaps before. This is 181st plat. He actually got a review copy, he says. And he thinks this is top 5 Bond media of the last 30 years. Very high praise there. Dying Breed with a Dark Souls 1 remastered platinum. Can't believe I did this to myself, he says. He says it is his 3rd platinum, and his other plats are EC Origins and Death Stranding. So a major step up in difficulty, and he's on to Death Stranding 2 now. Always nice to have a Soulsborne on the list. Congrats on getting your 3rd platinum. Mac Chimera here posting a Minecraft post saying if anyone is looking to obtain all trophies for the game without grinding, then he highly recommends this realm world. He shares the realm code right here and says you may find that the waiting time to enter the realm is quite frustrating, as it can be full for a period of time. Once you're in, however, each sign will guide you to what trophy achievement this area is for in a simple step-by-step guide to achieve it. And he shares some pictures of the realm here. Looks like they do make these trophies pretty easy to get. And if you really just want an easy platinum and 100%, you could go do this. Minecraft has a ton of trophies, probably over 200 easily. I think it has at least 2, if not 3 lists on PSN profiles with how many DLCs there are for the game. But honestly, I'm against doing this. Minecraft is a really good game, and none of the trophies are really that insanely hard. So I do feel like you're kind of cheesing this platinum and all the DLC trophies and missing out on the experience of a good game. RNG Facts here posting Persona 5, and it is his 100th plat. He says stealing hearts for the 100, fun game. After Expedition 33, he never thought he would enjoy another turn-based game, but this one was alright. And yeah, congrats on the milestone RNG. Very cool to finally get to that 100 plats. Platinum Security here is posting Space Marine 2, and he says he hasn't felt this much testosterone since puberty. What an absolute blast from start to finish. I ran for the entire game with a friend, and I don't think I've ever felt more like a roided out cathedral door kicked off its hinges. Every chainsaw rev, every bolter shot, every time we executed a heretic just to watch the health bars refill, peak co-op energy. Yeah, just singing very high praises for the game there. Kind of has flown under the radar since it came out. Would be a good one to get to at some point though, especially if it's on Extra and you can play it for free. Oatmeal Worldwide sharing the Wu Chang Fallen Feathers, Platinum 55 for them. I believe this game was free on PS Plus last month, so we might see a couple of these in here too. They say it's one of the best Souls-likes out there, amazing art, bosses, and level design, and he 100% recommends it for Souls-like fans. I've heard some opposite opinions about this game, people saying it's not very good and fleshed out, but like I said, I think it was free on Plus this last month, so you can check it out and find out for yourself. And our 40th post here is from the Solo Watcher, posting Sekiro. He said it's common knowledge that FromSoft games have high platinum percents, but he thinks Sekiro is the toughest out of all of them. And he's saying that since the plat is 10% here, that means that 1 out of 10 people had enough skill to beat the game and decide to go for the platinum trophy. And he's wondering why the ratios are so high for the games despite them being so tough. He thinks it's a testament to how good the games are. Yeah, I think part of why the percent is so high for these is the Soulsborne fan base is just very dedicated, and you're kind of not really getting the fullest out of the game unless you do go through and beat all the bosses, and at that point you're very close to the platinum anyways, so that's why a lot of people end up going for it, but you guys will have to let me know why you think that is. No Nefariousness, posting a discussion post here about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's director, saying that they regret the brutal platinum trophy and promise the trophy requirements for the next game will be more reasonable. And yeah, it's cool to see people that actually make the games talk about the trophies, because I think a lot of times they kind of don't get much time in the spotlight. And this is a pretty difficult game to platinum at 8 out of 10 difficulty in 200 hours. So I'm sure a lot of the fans of the game would be happy if they decreased the difficulty and time required to earn that platinum a little bit in the next title. 9 Souls here getting posted by Praise the Moon 99. I think we've seen them in some of these recaps before also, and they said they're very proud of this one. Pretty sure this was also a Plus game from last month. They say it's perfect if you appreciate Metroidvanias, and it's a superb game with good art direction and great characters, in addition to the plot. And now that it's on Plus, there's no reason for you to miss it. You should go enjoy this masterpiece. So high praise there. Check out 9 Souls if it sounds interesting to you. Another Crimson Desert post. We've seen a lot of these over the last month or two. It says it's finally over. This is no letterhead. And they say it's one of the most enjoyable yet exhausting platinums they've gotten. Took 285 hours. And they're happy to finally move on. Yeah, very grindy game here. Seen a lot of them recently, like I said, but that's probably going to start to dwindle down here. Nice intention here, posting a little discussion post here. Basically, he was looking for people to help him get a trophy, and this guy was trying to get him to pay for his time to help him, even though the trophy only takes about 30 seconds, and apparently he was asking for 30 bucks there, which is absolutely insane. You can always find somebody else that needs the trophy or will just help you out of goodwill. So I'm glad he didn't pay for that trophy there. Lupus here is posting the Red Dead Redemption Platinum for their 102nd Platinum. They say, what a ride, curious what the sequel has in store. Game I need to get around to also. They just had a remaster recently, right? Definitely need to check this one out. I really liked Red Dead 2. Yes, I know this one's a little grindy, but I definitely need to get to it. Heart Dynasty here, posting Bluey the video game. Their 62nd Platinum, and the first ever Platinum that their nephews helped them with. They said they did the episode trophies with their 5 and 3-year-old nephew when they stayed over for the weekend and ended up doing the rest themselves. Definitely cool getting the next generation into trophy hunting there. Jeff here is posting Expedition 33. It's his 7th plat, and he says it's one of the best games he's played. He says it's a fun Platinum, but the Gestrel Tower game was driving him nuts for a while. Yeah, not sure this one's up my alley, but I just hear tons of people saying how good it is all the time, so I might have to sneak it into a game that I play here at some point. Account Eat70 here is posting this thing that they saw on Twitter and asking if anyone's ever used it. It's basically a chronological organization of all the games you've played and a breakdown of the plats also. They thought it was cool and wanted to share it. The comments, though, are noting that PSN accounts have been getting compromised recently, so this might not be the safest site to use. It does look pretty cool with the layout here, though. OK Astrometer, posting multiple games here, and they just hit 100 Platinums. And they've posted a pic here, going from newest to oldest, all at 100%, and they had a blast getting these plats. Obviously 100 plats, we can't go through them all here, but I will maybe say some that are of note. Looks like our first was Astro's Playroom. We got God of War Ragnarok in there, we got Hollow Knight, we got multiple Star Wars games, multiple Assassin's Creed games. Elden Ring was our 100th. Cuphead's in here also. This is a really good variety of games here. That is a solid 100 Platinums right there. Banana King here, showing multiple Platinums, and it's all the Uncharted games. They said they used to be very scared of Drake's Fortune, and have recently got much better dealing with horror elements in games, so they decided to go back and really loved it. And they're very happy to have this done, as it was a goal of theirs for a while. And yeah, we're seeing Uncharted 2 in here twice, Uncharted 4, The Lost Legacy, The Legacy of Thieves Collection, Uncharted 3, Golden Abyss, Uncharted Fight for Fortune, Drake's Fortune twice, and another Uncharted 3 in there. So yeah, very impressive. What is that, 11 games there? I've only played one Uncharted, and it was actually earlier this year. Would love to expand that series at some point in the future. Done all 3 of the newer Tomb Raider trilogy. I really like those, so I think I'd enjoy the Uncharted's as well. Dat Support Guy posting Silent Hill 2 for his 201st Platinum. And he says, it's a nice, cozy, upbeat plat to start the climb to 300. Slivo13 here posting the Balatro plat. That's a pretty good one there. He says it took him 260 hours before he was done with this masterpiece. and the game was perfect while doing some exercise, it seems like he's saying. Yeah, this one can be really grindy, kind of heavily RNG based, kind of difficult also. It's a pretty impressive plat to have. Deza here is posting their Soulsborne collection. He says, the fact they'll forever be next to each other in my trophy list means something to me. So it seems like he did these back to back to back. And he started out with Demon Souls, into Dark Souls Remastered, into Dark Souls 2, then Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and finally Elden Ring. Yeah, so he's definitely covered the Soulsborne genre there, and gotten 7 good ones back to back, which shows insane dedication. And our 25th post from the month of May here is from Greg, posting The Witcher 3 again. He says it was his 108th plat, and it was quite the experience. He got 100% also doing the Heart of Stone and Blood and Wine DLC. He said he finally got around to playing the game after putting it off for 10 years, and it was a great experience. From the moment he started it, he was really hooked. He rarely 100%s games and does DLCs straight after the Platinum run, but this game deserved it. And after finishing everything, he understands why it's in such high regard, and if you haven't played it yet, you should try it out. And yeah, I would 100% agree. Like I said, the other DLCs coming out next year, the game and the DLCs in this game are just so good, so if you haven't played it, definitely go check it out. Salty Swan here posting a big one. We got the Wolfenstein 2 Platinum. It's his 197th plat. He says, with every step, he was more certain he could achieve it, but it was difficult. He said it really tests your patience and dedication, and if you don't know, it's hard because it has a permadeath trophy, and it's nowhere near as difficult as it might be if you had saves, but you really gotta lock in for 3 or 4 hours of this one. There were some nights after attempts where he was on full tilt and didn't think he could keep at it, but everything became so much easier. The only problem became the 3 to 4 hour time sinks, but now he has it. And yeah, obviously this is a really impressive one here. This is like a 10 out of 10 platinum. Some people say it's like the easiest 10 out of 10 platinum. I don't know about that. Permadeath is obviously crazy. So congrats there, Salty. Micah Bell here, posting the Pragmata Platinum. It was his number 248. He says, hacking my way to the Platinum, another goated Capcom game. And yeah, we saw a lot of these over the last 2 months in the subreddit as well. This was a decently popular release that kind of just came out. So cool to see people are still getting around to that one. That's going to sound really weird if that picked it up at the end of that. Crow Wizard here is posting a trophy from Crypt of the Necrodancer. He says after 4 months of playing and 300 hours, he completed the hardest trophy, which is all characters without picking up any items or using shrines, completing their runs. He says this was the hardest feat he's ever done in gaming. When he started, he dove straight into low percent practicing every character, jumping a huge amount of steps because it required a lot more practice. And he decided to deactivate both DLCs around the 100-hour mark. And finally, at 290 hours, he managed to nail this trophy. He says he only has a run with 1 character, it looks like, left, and some miscellaneous trophies, and he'll have the Crypt of the Necrodancer Platinum. Obviously, that would be super impressive. I think, like, maybe not even 50 people have this Platinum. I normally don't like seeing the single trophy posts in here that aren't plats, but as I've said before, we will make an exception for Crypt. King Joe here posting another plat that I think will be very popular for a new release. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. It was his 43rd platinum. He says it's been a long time since he's been this hooked into a game. He played almost 30 hours in 3 days. He says the game was so fun and peak, also unemployment goes crazy. Yeah, to play 30 hours in 3 days, you must have loved it. I've seen a lot of people playing this. I think we'll see a lot more posts of this game probably in the next recap. Death Fang here is sharing their 150 platinums, and he ranked them by their estimated difficulty. Obviously, we can't go through all of these, but we'll take a quick look here. Looks like he Looks like he has two 10 out of 10s, Fall Guys and Super Meat Boy. Then for 9s, he's got Downwell, Hollow Knight, and XCOM. He's got a good amount of 8s here also. Looks like we got 6 8s. Good amount of 7s, 6s, 5s, 4s. Most games fall in 3. We see a lot of 3s here. Kind of a lot of 2s. I feel like there aren't a ton of games that end up at 2s. And then he's got a decent amount of 1s here also. Looks like we got 8 1s here potentially. Definitely some hard games on this list though. I feel like this is a pretty good distribution of difficulty. So thanks for sharing it and just keep up what you're doing. We got another 007 First Light post here. I believe it's our third one. And it looks like this might have been before the game was out. It's a guide by PowerPix. And it's listed at a 2 out of 10, 20 hours, and a very straightforward plat. Right after I say most games aren't a 2 out of 10, this one's getting listed as that. I'm kind of surprised because normally 2 out of 10s don't have a whole lot of gameplay going on. But yeah, that makes it seem like this game is going to be a very doable and not super grindy, painful plat to get, so that'll be nice. Any Photo is posting the Mafia 2 Definitive Edition here. It's 51st plat. And he says it was a mess experience with tons of unnecessary collectibles. And yeah, I totally get that. This game had hundreds of collectibles. A very good game, but it literally probably takes 10 hours just going around grabbing the collectibles in this game, although the world's so fleshed out that it's kind of fine and cool to do. He said he had to censor the screenshot, and yes, thank you for doing that. Bebop Man here posting the Elden Ring Platinum. It says 183rd Platinum and 10,000th Trophy. Kind of cool stacking milestones in a way, getting the Platinum for your 10,000th Trophy. And obviously Elden Ring, good one to get. Congrats on that. Try98 here, posting multiple games. He says he finally platted all main Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden games. Pretty impressive. I don't know the difficulty and times for these off the top of my head, but I know a lot of them are like up in the 8, 9 out of 10 territory, taking hundreds of hours to complete. So this is a very impressive list here. Looks like we got all 5 Devil May Cries right here, and then 5 Ninja Gaidens also, so 10 games there. And like I said, if I had to guess, they're probably like 8, 9 out of 10, 150 hours apiece, so that is a very good stack of 10 games right there. We got another stack of games here coming from Elvis, and he has gotten 9 consecutive NHL Platinums in a row. Starting with NHL 18, going to 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and finally 26. He says it's getting harder to push himself every year. Yeah, I kind of understand that one there, buddy. The yearly sports games are insane for just trying to keep the platinums going on them. I know a lot of people have trouble with FIFA for that. Personally, I don't play those. But yeah, it's definitely a slog if you're going to get the new game every year. Ash Ketchup here sharing the Days Gone Platinum. And it was his 5th Platinum. He says he finally got this one done on his first playthrough. The story's an 8 out of 10. The ideas went together really well. And he's going to try to go finish all 3 of the DLCs now. I know one of those DLCs at least is very hard. I actually just watched, I believe it was Twicer go get it in a trophy cleanup video. So, yeah, you're going to be in for some fun on that one. Congrats on the 5th Platinum, man. Keep those Platinums coming. Intelligent Clerk here is sharing the Elden Ring Platinum, and he says he's never touching a Souls game ever. He says it's his first Souls game Platinum, even though he's played all of them. Most of the bosses were moderately challenging. It was a little grindy getting the Talismans and Ashen Remains. He says overall it's an unforgettable experience and addicting, and he's asking for any recommendations on which game he should platinum next. Congrats on the Elden Ring Platinum there. PJ here is asking about Platinum Burnout, saying that his goal was to get 100 Platinums, but he currently has 68, and there's a lot of games he would like to play, but he feels like he needs to get the Platinum if he plays them. And the comments here are basically saying that it's just internet points, don't worry about it, and stop trying to get platinums if it's no longer fun. And I pretty much agree with that. Arguably a second account could be a good call here if you still want to keep your completion rate and stuff high, but not have to worry about getting platinums. But regardless, you shouldn't really let the platinum trophy decide if you play a game or not. Yuichiro here, sharing the Elder Scrolls Online 100%. And he says, questing, even more questing. That's the Elder Scrolls Online experience for you. Despite hundreds, if not thousands of quests required for trophies, the dungeon experience is fantastic, and it's what he loves about the game. Overall, the game isn't too challenging, but it can be overwhelming for new players. He says it took him 677 hours, but it wasn't optimized, and he's pretty sure you could do it in under 600. He says he wants to do more MMOs in the near future, and he's giving this game a 5 out of 10 for difficulty. Those are interesting ratings and time there, because this game, to earn the platinum, you have to be the Emperor, and only one person in the game can have that title at a time. And I am actually doing some research for a series of videos I'll be making soon, and I can tell you guys this is a long platinum. It is actually one of the top 5 longest platinums on PlayStation. And he said he wasn't optimized getting it, but his 677 hours there actually comes in far below the time stated on the guide. So I think he did pretty well with this one, and it is a very impressive platinum. Our 10th most popular post from the month of May is from Tell You Gamer here, and he's sharing the Metal Gear Solid 5 platinum. He says it's one of the coolest plat videos he's ever recorded. And yeah, it was a pretty cool video here. We see the chopper crashing here. He's got his dog running around in the background. Very cinematic chopper crash, and there's the platinum pop. Very nice, congrats on the plat. DICH here, sharing the GTA 5 plat, and says the pain is finally over. Obviously a very respected plat here. Kind of cool that he got eaten by the shark for the last trophy to pop the platinum there. A lot of people are probably going to be starting to think about cleaning this one up before GTA 6 comes out. I know there's a couple random DLC trophies I'll be trying to get before that happens, and maybe I'll even give Masterminds another go, but that's a whole undertaking on its own, so we'll have to see about that one. Passinator here, sharing a Ghost of Tsushima reward, a trophy emblem pin. And he says he doesn't know if anyone else took part in the PlayStation reward for Ghost of Tsushima /Yote, but he just had to share this emblem pin. And yeah, that looks pretty cool. It'd be awesome if PlayStation does more stuff like this, at least for first-party plats. Timmy Clams here, sharing Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition, and it is his first plat. He says he started a new PS account specifically to get platinums. Is going to try to commit to get a platinum on every game that he starts on his account, and is hoping he can stick to that. He says he got this plat back in January, but is just getting around posting it now. Congrats on the first plat on the new account. Hopefully you can keep them coming. And like I said, I thought we'd see a few more of these. JJ Gamer is posting the Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight Platinum. It's his 34th Platinum. He says, what a game. According to PSN Profiles, he was the 5th person to get the Platinum, if you exclude people who received early copies. And yeah, that's pretty impressive to have that already, and being the 5th fastest achiever is very cool, so thank you for sharing that with us. We got another 007 First Light post here from Troller Sugar. I think that's our 4th one of the day so far, and he says Game of the Year right here. A lot of people liking this one. I'm kind of regretting not getting it at day 1 at this point. Hales Mini here keeps a journal for 100% in games, and they've just shared a few pages of it here with us. Kind of a cool physical way to keep track of your gaming history, and it's kind of a combination of hobbies if you already do journaling or scrapbooking, so very cool there. Thanks for sharing. AJ here with discussion post. Which platinum trophy was your first ever, and what was your most recent one? Well, I'll tell you right here, AJ, my first ever was Far Cry 4. It was a game that came with my PS4 when I got it in like 2014. And my most recent one was Resident Evil Resistance. the 8 out of 10 difficulty in my 1 for 10 difficulty challenge. He says his first ever plat was Battlefield 1, and his 100th plat, which he got last Friday, was Elden Ring Night Rain. Let me know in the comments what your first platinum trophy was, and what your most recent one was too. And here's our 5th or 6th 007 First Light post from T0. Seen him in some of these before too, I believe. It is his 539th plat. He says, great game, terrible collectibles. Oh, that could kind of suck a little bit, but let's be honest, the game said it was 20 hours. How bad can the collectibles be, right? But it would be nice to experience it without a guide, and I'm guessing it's going to be a guide-heavy game. JXE here, sharing his favorite part about getting a platinum, and I did see this one in the feed while I was randomly scrolling this month. He made a cool little 3D printout here of all the trophies, and you can kind of update your numbers as you earn more trophies. Another cool physical way to keep track of your trophy hunting. And those were the top 50 posts from the r/trophies subreddit from the month of May. We had a lot of 007 First Light new release plats getting posted, along with some Lego Batman. We had some really hard plats, like The Binding of Isaac and The Elder Scrolls Online. We had some games that maybe got forgotten about, like The Witcher 3 and Days Gone, that people are going back to. Great variety of posts on the subreddit this month. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and don't want to miss the next one. We'll be doing another recap next month. And I'll also be posting videos on the 1 for 10 difficulty challenge. The next game for that will be Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And I'll be starting a new series, like I kind of mentioned here, where I'll be going over the 100 longest platinum trophies on PlayStation. So stay tuned for that, and as always, thanks for watching.